Good morning everyone. Today we are moving on to chapter 2. So already in the last classes we discussed about unit 1 and different topics we discussed there, and now we are moving on to chapter 2. In chapter 2, social inequality, exclusion and inclusion. So what is social inequality? So the differences between in the different ways we can see that there is a differences in the human beings, where we can see it maybe depends on the economy, depends on the social status of the human being, or it may be the health. So like this we can say there is a difference. So we could find that they make the difference between the one person, the person who is higher, he feels that he is the superior one and others are the inferior ones. So there is an inequality between the two groups, or it may be the two individuals. We find the inequality in the society. Then what is exclusion and inclusion? Exclusion is the people, or it may be the individual, or it may be the group, they feel that they are separated from the society, they are separated from the group. That is called as exclusion. Then inclusion means because where the people have been excluded from the society, government is trying to make them come together in a different ways, which we can see. There are many laws which have been implemented here. So there are many different articles in the constitution which we can see. They are trying to bring equality in the society, so that the person may belong to any class, any caste or any gender here. So in spite of having the differences, trying to bring them together and give the equal status to the people in the society. So that we call it as an inclusion strategies. So here in this unit we are going to discuss about these three topics. That is, one is social inequality in a different ways in the society. How do we have the social inequality? In what are the factors we have here? It may be the caste system, or it may be depends on the women, scheduled caste, scheduled tribes. So all these are the topics we are going to cover here. Next, exclusion, and which are the groups have been excluded in the society, and next one is inclusion. How do we bring them together inside the society? So these are the three different topics which we are going to discuss in this particular chapter. First topic, social inequality. So some people here we can see that they feel that they are greater in the society, depends on the resources how much they have. If they have the greater share of the resources in the society, they are called as the higher ones in the society. In the social stratification we can see that they get a topper position in the society. So all the resources what we have depends on the resources. It's not equally distributed in the society for all the human beings. We have the difference there, depends on the strength of the human being, depends on the ability of the human being. We could find that they are going to acquire the resources in the society. For example, here we can see that it may be economically or it may be socially, culturally, when we take here, where we can see if a person, if from the heredity he can get the economic status here. So that here automatically what he is doing, he is acquiring the status from the the future generation of people. So because of that, here he will get the economic status, that is the highest status which he gets in the society. So where we could see in the society the resources are not distributed. Some people have a more resources, the greater share of the resources are in one particular group or one particular family or one particular individual they acquire. So other people, they have a limited, or some people have a very less resources, so that we could find the inequality between the people here. So now here we can see social resources are, they have divided into three different types. That is, first one is economic capital, social capital and cultural capital. It has been divided into economic capital, cultural capital and social capital. What is economic capital? Economic capital means where do we have a material assets and the income, that is called as the economic capital. Then cultural capital means educational qualifications and the status is called as a cultural capital. Then social capital. Social capital means networks of contacts and social associations. where a person is having a contact with a very high influential people. So that is called as a social capital. So here these three capitals here we can see it has been divided into, depends on the resources what a person is having. If a person has one particular capital, it's very easy for him to acquire the other capital. Now for example here we can see, if a person, if he is having the material assets, if he is having the economic capital, if income is very good, then automatically we can see that qualification is also very high. He gets a very high qualification, so that he is going to acquire the next capital, that is cultural capital, is easy for him. And with this, if we get the economic capital as well as when he is having a good qualification, it's very easy for him to have a contact with the other people. So that a person having one particular capital can acquire other capitals very easily in the society. Then we can see that the meaning of social inequality, commonly we can say, they say like this: patterns of unequal access to social resources are called social inequality. Where we can see unequal access to social resources. Where do we have the unequal resources in the society? Some people have a very high resources and some people have a very less resources. That is called as a difference between the one group to another group. This difference is called as a social inequality in the society. And also discrimination between the people because of different types which we can see. It may be because of religious differences, caste differences which we can see, and also we can see gender. So like this, there is a inequality based on people in a different ways. So all these differences which we have, this makes the inequality in the society. For example, gender when we take here, male as well as the female. In Indian society we could find that there is a difference between a male as well as the female. Male is called as the superior one as well as female is called as the inferior ones. So like this in religious groups also, which we can see, one group they themselves they call them as a higher ones and other ones they call them as a low ones. So one group they themselves we are the superior one and they look all the other group as a inferior ones. And in the caste system also we could find that one particular caste they feel that they are the superior one in the society, and all other castes which we can see that they are the lower ones. So like this we could find that discrimination between the people in the society. This discrimination is called as a social inequality in the society. Next one, meaning of social exclusion. What is exclusion? It is individuals may feel that they are cut off from one main wider society. So where we can see a group of people or an individual, they feel that they are cut off from one main wider society, because there are many reasons for that. It may be because from the past society, from the traditional society, where do they follow the same way of life. So because of that, where we could find that the society itself, we can see because of the beliefs what we have, the culture what we follow, because of that one group feels that they are the superior ones and they keep the other people away from that particular group. That is called as social exclusion. And here we can see a people, here we can see they feel that multiple deprivations prevent individuals from participating in important activities. So here simply when we say the meaning of exclusion, it is multiple deprivations prevent individuals from participating in important activities. Where we could find that different, where we can see some of the norms which we have in the society. So these norms, they are going to make the people to be away from the mainstream of the society. They are not supposed to participate in any activities in the society. Some of the activities have been prohibited for them in some of the groups which we could find that. So it is reserved for one particular group or it is reserved for one particular individual. So all other members, so they are kept away from that particular group. That is called as exclusion. Then here we can see that it is a involuntary. Social exclusion is involuntary, it is not the voluntary one, where we could find that a people voluntarily they are not joining to that particular group. So it is a involuntary one. From birth a person gets this. From birth, if a person is born in that particular group, where we can see excluded group, if a person is born, then we could find that they get from the birth. So it is not the voluntary one, it is called as a involuntary ones. And in Indian society we could find that because of all these changes what we have, mainly we have here three main groups, which we are going to concentrate on three main groups today, where they are called as exclusive groups in the society. So this exclusive groups have faced different types of problems in the society from the past days. There are many different problems, social, economic, political, so educational problems. There are many problems which they have faced. To overcome all these things, we could find that there are some welfare measures also. But in this unit now we are going to discuss about what are the problems they faced. And here mainly we have three groups, that is one is Dalits, then Adivasis and the other backward classes. These are the three main groups which they face the problems in the society. There are many different problems which they faced. So in this topic we are going to discuss that. Under social exclusion, first we discussed about exclusion based on caste. So what is caste system? So in Indian society, caste system is one of the important system which we could find in the Indian society, where it is deep-rooted as a social institution in the Indian society. So here we could find that three main things have been influenced on the Indian people. One is joint family, second one is a caste system, and the third one is village communities. These three things have been influenced on the Indian people. So here we could find in the caste system especially, this has been influenced more on the Indian people. So it's very important to study the caste system to know how this has been influenced on the people and how we can see that the social stratification have been given to, this is playing a role, the caste system is playing the role by giving the status to the people in the society. So in this unit, first of all, first we discuss about meaning of caste. Caste has been derived from Spanish as well as Portuguese word casta. Casta means breed or race. Casta means breed or race. In Portuguese, which we can see, to give the classes to the Indian people, they use the word as casta. And in English, we could find that the casta, it became a caste in the Indian society. So we call this as a caste system in Indian society. So caste system has played a major role in the Indian society, which we can find even in the present society, in all the sectors which we can find, caste system is playing a role. Then next we'll move on to definitions of caste. So there are many people who have been defined caste system in a different ways, depends on their studies, depends on their views, they have been defined caste in a different ways. So now first we'll take about Herbert Risley's definition. According to Herbert Risley, caste means a collection of families or a group of families bearing a common name, claiming a common descent from a mythical ancestor, human or divine, professing to follow the same hereditary calling and regarded by those who are competent to give an opinion as forming a single homogeneous community. So it means here, so a collection of families. Caste system means it's a collection of families, or it is a group of families which we have in Indian society where they have a common name. And here we can see where they claim a common descent, who come from a mythical ancestor and they follow the common profession. Occupation is same. From the heredity, the occupation which they have got, they follow the same occupation. If father is doing some business, even the son will do the business. If a father is a priest, even a son will become a priest. So the occupation, hereditary occupation which they follow. So all these things regard where we can see that it is a homogeneous group. Homogeneous means similarities which we have in the groups. We call it as a homogeneous group. Heterogeneous means the differences which we have in the groups. Here in the caste, when we take here, caste is a homogeneous group, where when we take the example of one particular caste here, they follow the same type of rituals, the beliefs are same. So because of that we call this as a homogeneous group. So according to Risley, we can see it is a collection of families or a group of families where they have a common name and where they follow the common descent, as well as here we can see where they follow the common occupation. So that is called as a homogeneous community. So that is caste system according to Herbert Risley. According to S.V. Ketkar, in his work History of Caste in India, he has been defined caste in this way. He says a caste is a group having two characteristics. So that is, first one, membership is confined to those who are born of members. And the second one is the members are forbidden by an inexorable social law to marry outside the group. He says that caste is the group having two characteristics. So that is, first characteristic is membership is confined to those who are born of that particular group. A person who gets the membership from the birth, if he is born in that particular caste, automatically he gets the membership in that particular caste. That is the first characteristics. And the second characteristics, he says that here we can see the members are forbidden to marry outside the group. They had to get married inside the group. They follow the endogamous type of marriage. Endogamous type of marriage means where the marriage takes place inside the groups. People get married inside their own group. Outside the group, they are forbidden in the groups. So in the caste system which we can see that in the caste system, people, they get married within their own caste. Brahmin get married to the Brahmin. Okay, so this type of marriages we find in the caste system. So that S.V. Ketkar, he defines the caste system in this way. So first one he says that it comes from the birth, and the second one he says that where we could find that members marry within their own groups. They had to follow the endogamous type of marriage. This is the definition given by S.V. Ketkar. Next one, features of caste system in India. So here we could find G.S. Gure, who has given major characteristics in the caste system. So there are some of the major characteristics according to him. So he has mentioned those things in his book Caste and Race in India. So that is the main work of G.S. Gure, Caste and Race in India. So here he has given some of the characteristics. Let us see one by one now. And the first one, caste as a segmental division of society. First one is caste as a segmental division of society. So in this he says that any person who is a member of a caste, here the membership for any person, it's from birth. He gets the membership from birth. So it may be, he may be born in Brahmin, so he will become a Brahmin. So if he is born in any other caste here, he will become a member of that particular caste. So and also here we could find that each caste, they had the caste councils, that is caste panchayats which they had. And the caste panchayats, they decided what is the social intercourse, then what type of marriages they should have, and what type of occupations they had to do. So all these things was decided by caste panchayats. If a person, if he neglects that, if he ignored the rules and regulations of that particular caste panchayat, then he will be punished. The punishment depends on the how he has been violated that particular rules and regulations or the norms of the caste panchayats. So according to that, a person will be punished. So that way we can see that caste panchayat used to play the role in the society. So here they divided the caste here, the divisions which we can see. So that we could find in the first point. And the second one, hierarchy. So the whole society here we can see it has been divided. The whole society, especially according to the caste system, it has been divided high and low and superior and inferior. It has been divided into high and low as well as superior and inferior. So how it had been divided here? Here we could find that the Brahmins, they were placed at the top. They were regarded as the pure ones. And the degraded ones or the untouchable ones, they were occupied the other end of the hierarchy. The topmost is the Brahmins and the end of the hierarchy is the untouchables or the degraded ones. So here the untouchables, they were called as the impure ones, and the Brahmins, they were the topmost position which they had, they were called as the pure ones. And there is a inequality between these two, where we can see that this people, they were not ready to accept the, especially we can see the Brahmins, the topmost position which they had in the society, they were not ready to accept the degraded ones. So they were called as the impure ones. Here we could feel that they had the mentality that the pure ones always, which we can see, they followed their own way of rituals, their own way of lifestyle. And the degraded ones, here we can see, if they want to achieve the highest position, they were not allowed. Because what position they have got from the birth, they had to follow that. Occupations, it is reserved for them, depends on the caste panchayats. So here we could find that already there was a difference between the pure as well as the impure ones. That is, the people who had occupied the most position, that is the topmost position, that is the Brahmins, and the degraded ones, they had the differences here. This inequality, the discrimination which we could find in the society. Third one, social restrictions on feeding and social intercourse. So they had the restriction on the food, what type of food they had to accept, from whom they had to accept. So there was a restrictions for this. So here we can see, depends on the each caste what type of food they had to accept, as well as from whom they had to accept the food. So there were two types of food which we could find. One is pakka food and the kacha food. Pakka food means a food prepared by using the ghee, and the kacha food means a food prepared by water. So that is called as kacha food. So there were two types of food which we can see, and majority we can see the caste which was in the topmost position, they accepted the pakka food, and it was prepared by, they had to accept the food only prepared by their own caste people. So that was the restriction which we could find here. So there were restriction even depends on the food in the caste system. And next point is the fourth one, civil and religious disabilities and privileges of the different sections. That is the fourth one. So in this, there were segregation of individual caste or groups of caste in the society. So they segregated the groups, or it may be the individual, or it may be the group of caste in the society. And in some of the places which we can see, untouchables were made to live on the outskirts of the villages. So this we could find there. And even in the towns which we can see, some areas special which we can say, it was prohibited for them, where they were not allowed to enter that particular place, that particular area. And also we could find restrictions on some of the public roads, then wells, then also hotels. So like this, public places were prohibited for the untouchables. So this was some of the problems which they faced, where they were not allowed to walk freely on the public roads, where they had to maintain the distance. So there was some of the restrictions for the untouchables in the society. Fifth point, restrictions on occupations. According to G.S. Gurre, every caste was associated with traditional occupations. So each and every caste had the traditional occupations. So the occupations was hereditary. So where we can see, if a father was, if he was doing any occupations here, it was transferred to next generation. The same occupation they used to do. And also here a particular caste monopolized a particular occupation. And with that we can see that there were some restrictions here. Some occupations were called as a clean ones and some was unclean ones. So there was difference between the occupations also. And sweeping, then washing and scavenging, all these things was called as a degraded ones. And priesthood and the teaching was called as a prestigious professions in the society. And there is a difference. So which caste has to do which type of occupation? It was reserved in the society. So they had to do only that type of occupation. They were not having any choice to select any occupation. If they have the ability, if they are interested, also they were not allowed to take any other occupations. It was restricted for them. They had to do only the occupations which was reserved to that particular caste, and also they were not allowed to take any occupations which were the lower to that particular caste. That was also there. Then here we can see that, and some occupations like agriculture, trade and laboring, all these things which we can see, it was open to all the caste groups. Any caste people, they can do this particular occupation. So this was the system in the society. So according to the caste system, here we can see in the traditional society, occupations were reserved. So they were restricted to the particular caste which we can see, and they had to take only that particular occupation and they had to do. So this was the condition in the society. Sixth point, restrictions on marriage. So here we could find that intercaste marriages were prohibited. So strictly intercaste marriages were prohibited in the caste system. So one particular caste, we can see that they could not get married to any other caste people. So because here we can see they followed the endogamous type of marriage. Endogamous type of marriage means marrying within their own caste. So Brahmins, they had to marry only to the Brahmins. This was the restriction. So that they were following the endogamous type of marriage. So in this we can see that, so any different types of marriages were not accepted here. So that interreligious marriages, intercaste marriages were prohibited in the society. So this was the marriage system according to the caste. So here we have gone through 6 points here according to G.S. Gurre. Thank you.